Welcome to the Unblinded Real Raw Roleplay, where we reveal that influence is a superpower, and you get it here. Of course, that's integrity-based human influence. And then, of course, there's like the question of what do we do with it to make the world an even greater place? But that's what we're up to. So, Vivian, how are you today?
I am splendiferously great.
Splendiferously great. This is like Willy Wonka world. Congratulations. So, and by the way, what's splendiferously great for you today?
Great energy, a lot of conquerings today. I woke up early, I worked out, I studied, I'm like making things happen. I have like zone action feelings inside of me.
Boom. And most importantly for today, at least for me at this juncture, is that we have some incredible people, participants and judges on The Real Raw. Who do we got today?
Oh my God. From Latvia, we have Zherenosky, a financial concierge, 13 years working in the financial industry. He's founder, president, and CEO of Craner LLC. He provides holistic wealth management strategies for high net worth families while streamlining their financial affairs.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know what all that means exactly, but he sounds like pretty bad A and super cool, especially the way you said his name. And it's Vlad, right?
Yes.
That is correct, yes.
Vlad, welcome, sir. And I don't want to cut you off, Vivian. Is there something else you're going to share?
No, I just wanted to say it's wonderful to be here with you, and it's nice to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, no, really, really thankful for you being here and excited. How you feeling about The Real Raw?
It's an interesting undertaking. Happy to be part of it. Jason Levine is a very close friend of mine, and I believe in helping my friends and participating and sharing their passions.
Awesome.
So I'm super excited to participate in this.
Yeah, well, Vlad, our hope is that there is massive value in it for you today. So thanks, Vlad. Lots of folks will see you and you're genius. So thank you. And Vivian, who do we have going into this amazing day with Vlad?
We have Krisstina Wise. She's a real estate mogul, millionaire coach, and creator of several multi-million-dollar businesses, including Good Life Luxury, The Paperless Agent, and most recently, Wealthy Wealthy. She's an award-winning author of the Amazon bestseller, Falling for Money, a romance novel for your bank account. She was named one of 100 most influential real estate leaders in the country, and she has been featured in USA Today, as well as by Apple, Contextually, and Evernote for her creative leadership with emerging technologies.
Krisstina, drop the mic. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, so what is present for you as we roll into The Real Raw?
The Real Raw, what's present is I said yes to something I didn't know I was saying yes to. So I'm just here to play this game, have fun.
All right, very, very cool. Very, very cool. So you can back out now, Krisstina. Do you want
No
to
backing out. Yes is yes.
Yes is yes. Okay. So judges, who do we have, Vivian?
We have Vikram Diol, conscious business coach, owner of OsteoStrong Bakersfield, California, real estate broker at Avenue Properties.
Vikram, how are you, sir?
What's up, Sean? I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're met through the Platinum Partnership of the Tony Robbins ecosystem, and very thankful to have you here today, Vikram.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Vivian?
We have Tom Matson, international best-selling author and seminar presenter. He has been able to share his message of business success and failure to more than 100,000 people on 4 continents. He studied over 82 businesses of his own, 7 to 7 figures and beyond. He loves to inspire entrepreneurs to get results, insights from his wins and losses along the way. He's also been interviewed in Success Magazine, Inc. Magazine, Entrepreneur, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, and literally hundreds of radio and TV stations across North America.
Yeah, I think we're up to 5 best-selling authors in the past 2 days in The Real Raw. So Tom, what's up, brother? How are
Hi,
you?
Sean. So excited to spend some time with you and everyone else that's out there.
Yeah, no, me as well. Thanks, Tom. Welcome aboard. So, and finally, Vivian, last but certainly not least,
Sandra Harmon, a teacher, transformational speaker, and mentor in the area of creating mindful relationships sustainably filled with joy and connection. A wisdom teacher and meditation instructor, trained in India, as well as certification partner with Alison Armstrong.
boom.
I love
Sandra,
Alison Armstrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's great.
how are you, Sandra?
I'm wonderful. So excited. Thank you, Sean, for providing this. I've been a fan ever since you started doing it. I'm a longtime listener. Happy to be here as a judge.
Yeah, Sandra, I am deeply grateful and thank you for the beautiful comments you put online and just great stuff going on. And thank you for all the great things that you're doing in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like, what are we doing here? What we're doing here is the entire premise of the Real Raw role play is that influence is integrity-based influence is a superpower. And we're here to unlock micro distinctions for all of your greatness and genius, and the greatness and genius in lots of folks. I think along the way influence has been used, it's been used incredibly manipulatively, harmfully, and destructively. And so at times, and it's gotten really confusing for everybody to distinguish this reality. Because somebody is trying to enlighten you or unblind you about something doesn't mean there's something going wrong. It's like there's an automatic default no. We're like in the post age of influence where influence equals bad. Like, no, I will not say yes to you because there's something that's got to be wrong here, right? But what if there's not? And how do we make decisions? And how do we distinguish between the accountant to hire, the financial services provider, the coach, whether it be in real estate, speaking, training, anything? How do we make these very complex decisions? Do we make it based on how many social media followers somebody bought? Do we make it based upon somebody that has somebody else say something about them? I don't think so. So what I've been studying for 23 years is how do we effectively help people make professional service-based decisions? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? The Real Raw role play is how people just authentically show who they are. There's relativity, there's comparison, there's emotional rapport building, there's identity creation. I think this, and this comes from having multiple top 100 national jury verdicts, working jury verdict consultants across the country, but much more importantly, studying the dynamics of influence. I think people can see. I think people can see the truth. As Malcolm Gladwell says, though, often we avoid seeing the truth and we just kind of default to somewhere else, right? When we see things that we feel aren't reality, and then later on we get really upset, we ignore it. This is what helped me demonstrate that Scott Rothstein, who's in prison for 45 years for being the largest Ponzi schemer in the history of South Florida, who also was almost the Attorney General of Florida, was a Ponzi schemer when the former head of white-collar crimes for the FBI, sitting next to me, wanted my client to give him $8 million. And my client fought me the whole private jet ride home. I said, how could you not see this? So the dynamic of integrity-based human influence is how do we see influence and see through things to truth? Not worse than it is, not better than it is, truth. That's what we're doing here. And we have a fun way of doing it and having cool people connect. So Vlad, Krisstina, does that sound a little bit more interesting at this point or no?
It does. Thank you.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Thank you. Okay. So, and here's how the two rounds go, Krisstina and Vlad and our beautiful and amazing judges. And this is, again, less about the scoring, right? And much more about the learning and sharing as we learn from each other. We teach people things and we unlock things. I've learned a ton since this integrity, since the Real Raw role plays have begun. And I think a lot of people have said beautiful things about what they've learned from being on. So including the judges. So here we go. Round one goes like this. Influence is about opening listening. What did Charlie Brown's teacher say? He said, wah, or she said, wah, 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 wah. If we speak into the lack of rapport, then we have massive challenges. NLP says that. Every program says that. But how do we really create rapport? How do we do it? Because it's an important skill set. Because if you have something critically important to convince somebody to do, like not invest $8 million with a fraudster and Ponzi schemer, even though the head of white-collar crimes for the FBI is sharing it, how do you convince somebody not to do that? And how do you conversely convince somebody that the decision to say yes is the right decision? First, we have to open up listening and create emotional rapport. The dynamic that follows that, though, is people make decisions, as the immortal Tony Robbins says, to avoid pain as opposed to gaining pleasure, not as much, right? Gaining pleasure for sure, but there's a dynamic of influence that gets very complex. And it's the dynamic that people tend to benefit throw into people. And we have this, again, post-influential age of people sitting in a default no. Benefit throw at a default no equals no. We're not getting to yes with integrity. So round one is how you build emotional rapport, open the listening of Vivian, who's the role player, and also have her access some relevant pain. And the yes you're going to move towards in round two. We've had a little bit of difficulty, judges, with this micro dynamic. Round two is where these amazing contestants talk about themselves and move through objections to yes. And objections, again, as long as they're providing services with integrity, objections form for emotional reasons, as we've talked about, our nervous system avoiding pain, fear of failure, fear of rejection. Oh my goodness, saying yes is bad, right? So, and you could even hear it respectfully and loving with Krisstina. She's like, I don't know what I said yes to. I'm not sure if I should have said yes. So there's still some fear that there's a mistake. Just a simple mistake could be wasting an hour of time, doing something that's not meaningful and progressive. Because we don't only fear losing our money, we fear losing our time and our energy. That's why people are at default now. So round 2 is about solving for the pain opened up in round 1 with the unique identity being conveyed by Krisstina and Vlad and moving to an agreement. So we are not judging anybody in round 1 on how well they articulate who and what they are, because the conversation split down the middle because Vivian's going to get a phone call and go, hey, I got about a minute to go. I got to take a quick Facebook call. We can continue in a moment. And that'll be the break point. So again, simply put, round 1, connect, open listening, access relevant pain to the ultimate yes. What yes? Vlad, Krisstina, whatever yes you want. Vlad, who do you want Vivian to be? What yes are you seeking? Do you want a book deal? Do you want to get on a stage of a massive speaker? You're simply having her be a high net worth client you want to move forward, or an attorney or an accountant you want to build a relationship with? Whatever the yes to you is, including perhaps somebody you care about saying, hey, go see this movie. Whatever you want is the yes you'll be seeking, and you'll tell Vivian who you want her to be. Krisstina, same thing. Make sense, Krisstina, Vlad? Any questions so far?
Sounds good.
So the idea behind this is that we, in talking to Vivian, we want to make sure that she commits by saying yes to whatever it is that we want for her to do, whether it's walking my dog or becoming my client or jumping a Brooklyn Bridge with me.
That is absolutely true, Vlad.
Okay, very good.
The yes you're seeking is in round 2. The first round, we're being judged on how we open up Vivian's listening, how deeply you connect, and access some relevant pain that's going to be the cause of her saying yes to you in round 2, where you share a little bit about yourself or the thing you want her to do and get to the yes. Make sense?
Got it. So in this round, we're not trying to get her to say yes. We're just trying to lay the groundwork for the second round.
That is correct.
Okay, very good.
Awesome. So now, Vlad, where are you physically located today? What city, country?
So although I'm from Latvia, I do live in New Jersey. I've been here for about 25 years. So I'm in Bergen County in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey.
Well, my goodness, my friend, you are quite close. I'm going to hallucinate. That Krisstina is going to be a little further away since you're probably under 10 minutes from my house right now.
Wow.
So,
Great.
Krisstina, where are you located?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay. So if you were like in, let's say Hillsdale, you would have been closer because there's only one place you could have been, but you're not in Hillsdale. So Austin, Texas is slightly further away than 10 minutes. So here's what we're going to do. Krisstina, I have a 1 or a 2 under the table. Do you think it's a 1 or a 2?
1.
It's a 2. So Vlad, you have won the toss. And now here's your choice. You can go second in round 1, and then Krisstina will choose where she goes in round 2. Or if you go first in round 1, then you still retain choice in round 2. So would you like to go first and retain choice, or go second and Krisstina has choice in round 2?
I'm going to do one better. I think it would be a gentleman thing to do for me to offer this choice to Krisstina, since both of us are brand new to this.
Whoa, Krisstina, you see Vlad, that he's getting brownie points with the judges right away?
He is, isn't he?
Has begun.
I'll go first.
Okay, amazing. All right, so that means that Krisstina will still have choice in round 2 as he passed the winning toss. So amazing. So Krisstina, who would you like Vivian to be?
Vivian is, she's really scared right now because this COVID thing hits and she's scared about her money.
Amazing. And she could be anybody scared about her money. Is there a certain economic bracket that she's in, or profession that she's in, or just anything?
Yeah, she's a woman entrepreneur and what I call a micro business owner, meaning what she does for a living is very connected to how much money she puts in her personal bank account. And she's just feeling really uncertain and a little bit scared right now with everything going on.
Awesome. Vivian, any questions by you?
And what is a micro entrepreneur?
That's somebody where they really are their business, but they still resonate with being an entrepreneur business owner. So it's different than like a freelancer or self-employed person. Like you're in business, but what you do, if you're a coach or a salesperson or a health practitioner, what you do every day for your business is connected to how much money you make.
Yeah. So Krisstina, would like a real estate agent count as a micro?
They would, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, just great. So real estate agent, coaches, speakers, Vivian, you got it?
I do.
All right. Krisstina, any final questions?
Nope.
3 minutes. Thank you so much. And go.
Vivian, how are you with this whole COVID thing right now?
Oh my God, I've just about am losing my mind. I have properties I can't sell, and I had like 5 employees. We weren't that big, and we were just transitioning to starting to do things digitally, but I'm really not well equipped to know what to do digitally right now, and I'm really afraid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. That's pretty typical right now. Share a little bit. Would you tell me just a little bit, like, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Tell me just a little bit about your past. Like, touch me up. Tell me who Vivian is.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I have 2 small children, 5 and 7 years old, a boy and a girl. And I am with my husband. He works in finance, and he works for Broadridge Financial. And that's it. We have a modest living, and my mother, who's older, lives with me now. So that's kind of a bit of a challenge also, trying to go out and do all of these things where I could just call someone to do that. And my mom is elderly and sick, and my 2 small kids, and I have to put them in front of become a teacher as well and make sure that they get their lessons. It's really overwhelming.
Yeah, I hear overwhelmed, like mom overwhelmed, maybe wife overwhelmed, mom overwhelmed, can't really leave the house. And sounds like maybe business is changing, crumbling a little bit, and it feels really shaky. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
Well, how are you feeling like right this minute? Like, share with me, if you could share with me just your business finances. Like, if you just are cool being truthful, just spill it. It's just between you and me. I'm just here to listen. How are things financially really right now?
I have to get a call in about a minute, but it's pretty bad. I mean, if it weren't for my husband who's keeping the mortgage afloat right now and getting the car payments and all of that, it's 3 months out probably in terms of freaking out for real.
Okay, got it. All right, so tell me a little bit, like, what are some dreams you have before even this COVID thing hit? Like, what are some financial dreams or just personal dreams, aspirations, inspirations? Like, where do you see yourself maybe 5 years from now? Like, what would be ideal look like? What would feel really, really great?
It was looking like we were going to go to Italy again and bring the kids. It was looking like we were going to Disneyland. It was looking like we could have freedom not to worry about our kids getting sick. It looked simple and beautiful, and that seems so far away. We're just, fires just are coming up everywhere.
Yeah, I know. So tell me what's working right now. What's really working? What is, like, in this crazy crisis, it feels like shaky, uncertainty, overwhelm, confusion. What's really working?
Go. I love talking to you, but I have to go. Thank you.
Very nice, Krisstina. So Krisstina, what is present for you?
That went by really fast, but I felt like we were really starting to connect and hopefully build some rapport, and I just wanted to help her.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Thank you. Vivian, 1 word, 1 sentence on what's present for you.
She was listening, and she was very caring, and I felt at ease with her.
Okay. Judges, because I'm going to ask Vivian 1 more question, but let's give your score before I ask Vivian this question next. So scoring again on depth of connection, access to pain. So Krisstina is ready in the 2nd round with influence to unblind Vivian as to why her amazingness is there to support her in solving those challenges. So you got it. We'll go 3, 2, 1, score, locked in. So Vivian, scale of 1 to 10, gravitational pull towards Krisstina.
8.
Okay, beautiful. All right, Vlad, are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
All right, so you have 3 minutes on the clock, my friend, and go.
Oh,
Okay.
well, who am I?
Right. I was.
Yes.
So Vivian, you are a 64-year-old seasoned financial professional with years of experience and a clientele base, couple office staff, dealing with clients amidst this pandemic. You lost 40% of your revenue because we get paid from the assets we manage. When the assets diminish in value, you obviously lose your revenue. You've been through ups and downs more times than you can count, and you are on the brink of speaking to a younger professional to potentially create a succession plan.
To create
a succession plan. Succession plan basically to be like, okay, I don't think I want to continue doing this. What am I going to do with my clients?
So sell the business, bring on a
sell the business, exit, over the next few years, maybe exit out, and this is what we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
Is this clear enough?
Well, what do I own as a financial person?
So let's say you work with about 300 families, and they call you they rely on your guidance. You sell life insurance and you build financial plans, and you provide investment advice. You've been at this for 30 plus years. And you're now at a point where how many more times can you go through these crazy cycles? When the market goes down, then you have to rebuild the business.
Yeah. So you own your own company, Vivian, with a couple of employees, and you manage money and sell insurance.
I sell insurance.
Investments, more so.
Okay, manage money. Yeah.
Yep, manage money.
Cool.
Okay.
Right. So this is Vivian Financial. Is it?
Vivian has a very diverse role. I mean, I can only imagine. This is one call. Vivian's like, all right, let's do this.
Amazing. Vivian does
Embrace the role, Vivian.
Oh, working on yes.
All right, we ready?
We have to be, yes.
Let's go. You got it, Vivian. Take us in.
Okay.
You're a woman, 64-year-old Rob Gill. Take us in.
Oh, okay.
Vivian, nice to reconnect with you again. It's been some time since we spoke. I just wanted to see how are you doing through this pandemic.
I am losing my mind at this point, I think.
And more so because the clients are bothering you and calling you and they need guidance, or on the personal side?
A little bit of both. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. I just went to the doctors and, I have some new ailments that I don't want to talk about right now. And I'm exhausted every day. And then I have employees that are unhappy. Some of them are quitting. And the truth is, my spirit is not into waking up every day to grind.
I completely understand the way you feel. Being in this line of work for the past 20 years, the clients that I work with are in the same age group as you are. They're seasoned. They've done very well financially throughout their life. And at this point, they're at the critical stage to where they can, God forbid, become ill because of this crazy coronavirus. Everyone's locked up because of this pandemic. Many of them have not seen their grandkids, their children. But then I understand, as you, so have I've taken a big hit to the revenue that we collect. Tell me, are you managing financially okay through this?
I'm managing, but I don't know about okay. I just think that it would be better if I just had somebody that, I have two young, bright kids that work, that are probably in their 40s. They're not kids anymore, but I'm hoping that they could maybe I could sell the business.
Have you considered either one of those two?
I hadn't up until now that you mentioned. I mean, I had, but I'm not so sure that they're financially set to buy my company right now.
How are they doing?
Even have some debt.
How are they doing mentally through all of this? Are they offering you their assistance, or are they more like you at loss?
They're at a loss. And in a minute I'm going to have to go, but they're having their own difficulties, their own family problems, their own challenges, and money's also something. People are not willing to take a chance right now, and that's part of my challenge right now.
I agree with you, and I completely hear what you're saying. I started my company right in the middle of the last crisis, which, crazy enough, looking back, it's been already 12 years, and here we are into the next crisis, right? And it's just mind-boggling to see that the market takes steps on the way up and an elevator on the way down, right?
It keeps happening all the time, it seems.
Right, this emotional roller coaster. And what I'm noticing and in speaking to my clients is that, look, and as much as you tell somebody, don't watch the TV, don't follow the news, but you can't help it. I mean, it's being thrown at you from every direction, right? How's your family helping you through all of this? Is everyone healthy? Is everyone doing okay?
Everyone's fine, thank God. But I think I'm going to have to go now. It was nice talking to you, though.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Nice work, Vlad. Vlad, what is present for you, sir?
I don't think I understand the question.
Yeah, what are you present to? So how do you feel about how that went? What are you thinking? Whatever's like there for you.
So these are the conversations I'm having regularly at this particular point, not only to my peers who are more seasoned than I am, but also my peers my age and a younger group. The younger ones to help them to keep going, and the older ones to potentially maybe seek an opportunity to help them to exit the business. So the conversation that Vivian and I had is very raw. I mean, it doesn't get any more vivid than this. I mean, I literally have several professionals that I'm in regular communication with, that they're like, I've had it. I'm done. Like, I just can't keep doing this anymore.
So Vlad, ultimately in the second round, the yes that you are seeking is what?
The yes is for Vivian to commit for me to become her succession plan and sell her business to me.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, God, that's what I thought. I was just
very easy, right?
Yeah, no, terrific. All
right.
Thank you. So Vivian, one word and one sentence and what's present for you.
He was asking the right questions, and I thought.
The first word, one word, like what? One word.
Caring.
Okay.
Or
and
inquisitive.
Caring, inquisitive. And then what was the sentence? I'm sorry.
He had a lot of questions, open-ended questions, I felt, that were making me think a lot and felt like I was in good hands.
Okay, awesome. All right, now it's time to go to the judges. So yeah, like Vikram, what's present, sir? The way we do our feedback is a couple of sentences on the positive, couple of sentences on opportunity for growth, and then a score for each. So Vikram, you want to start with Krisstina?
Ladies first. We're gentlemen here. I really felt that she connected well. I felt that she cared. I felt that she was able to get Vivian to open up. She asked some great questions. I felt with, how are you feeling right this minute? What's your vision 3 to 5 years out? And she was able to connect to some pain points with, Vivian opened up immediately with how she's doing. So that made it easy for both the participants. There wasn't any pushback when it's like, how's this COVID? And it was like, blah! a lot of vomit just came spewing out. And so I thought there was a lot of really good connection. And do you want my score?
Yeah.
I'm going to say an 8.4.
Okay, and that was for Krisstina. Yeah, and then what do we have for Vlad?
Vlad, a little bit of feedback for Krisstina would be, in these short time frames to capture the most information, just keeping the questions very direct and steering, which I felt that there was some of that going on as well. So that was nice. And then what I have for Vlad was, you could tell he knew what he was talking about. You could tell there was a lot of experience. You could tell that he probably doesn't have 3-minute conversations with people who want to have a succession to their business. So trying to get a lot of this information in a short period of time was probably a challenge for him, because these are probably, my guesstimate is a 45 to 60-minute consultation, not a 3-minute get to know them and then a 3-minute close. So I felt that under the time constraints of trying to get somebody who's in their mid-60s to open up to somebody who's considerably younger was fantastic. Originally, I thought he was talking a little bit too much, but then I realized that he had to share some of his story to get her to open up and connect with him. So he tied it back in towards the last of the 3 minutes. So my initial score wasn't going to be as high for him, but then when it all came together at the end, I was like, okay, I can see where it's all coming. So I'm going to say that he's right there at an 8.5 as well. And I enjoyed listening to the connection. Maybe if you're time constrained, you would talk a little bit less and let her talk a little bit more.
All right. Well, thank you,
Great.
Victor. And how about yourself, Sandra? What do you got?
Yeah, Krisstina, I'll start there. That was awesome. I felt so much connection and so much like genuine care. I was, how are you feeling in this moment was beautiful. I was on a short call, the tell me kind of about you. It could have gone on, but it didn't. So that was kind of a tricky one. I loved your connection. I loved your caring. The one thing that felt to me like a withdrawal of the connection was when you were asking Vivian about, well, what were your dreams before COVID? It felt like now you're going to a place that, maybe isn't real anymore. Maybe for her now, it's just her dreams are, well, I've completely reorganized it. So kind of felt like it took the conversation out of the present, that beautiful connection that you guys had. And yeah, it was beautiful. It makes me want to have a conversation with you just because of that beautiful empathy and caring you have. And I would say 9 for me, for you. I just thought it was a beautiful conversation.
Excellent. And for Vlad, Sandra?
And for Vlad, I the thing I loved is your demonstration of competence and like the certainty and the, this is what I deal with. This is who I am. I've been there, done that. I really appreciated the way you demonstrated competence without coming off as arrogant. I really, really appreciated that. And the one thing that I saw where it seemed like there were some couple almost like pain points of like emotional pain that you backed away from a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if Vivian felt, but it seemed to me like there would be something that you could have grabbed into a little bit more. And even though I loved the points of competence, I might have balanced it out a little bit more with pulling out of her what was going on. So waiting a little bit more towards, what's that? What's that like for you?
Awesome. And score?
And the score is 7.
Okay. So, and by the way, Sandra, how is Puerto Rico? Mona is sitting here, anxious to hear.
Yeah. Puerto Rico is amazing. We were just talking about it before I was on the call. Happy and blessed to be here in this beautiful environment. And I was telling everyone else, our other choice was in our high rise in New York. So we're just really happy to be here with the beach.
It feels like you made the right choice.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Tom, how are you, sir? And where are you physically located and what do you got?
I'm doing great. I'm on a little island just outside of Vancouver. As I was saying in our green room, it's the size of Manhattan, but we have 3,800 people.
What island?
About 13 million trees. Bowen Island, it's called. Bowen Island. Just 20 minutes outside of the city.
Unbelievable. And this is level 1 listening, which we coach against all the time. But for the sake of time, I'll drop into level 1 listening and talk about me for a second. I love Bowen Island. I've taken
Get out of town.
I've gone diving, and I think it's Horseshoe Bay.
Yeah.
It's right across. But I've been to Bowen Island, and there's a little restaurant right there, right on the kind of left side of the boat thing, a little bit up the road or something. Isn't there a couple?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
So, on Bowen Island, dude, that's remarkable. Well, thanks for being
here. And for years, there was a Blind Institute CNIB retreat here, and they had kids and adults come for decades. It's now since been sold to a private developer, but it was a place that my wife brought her. I guess she kind of co-parented some blind kids, and they came over and loved Bowen. They came here all the time, and it's got a great connection for many communities. So.
Yeah. And for those watching that don't know, I think most of you do, I am blind, and that's a relevant talking point with Tom right now.
Yeah.
So Tom, one of the most beautiful, peaceful, and pristine places on earth is your home. So congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's jump into the conversations. Krisstina, up first. I thought on connecting, I thought it was outstanding. I felt the energy and the genuine focus. You were listening well. I thought your follow-up questions were good. And it was clear that you were open in your listening skills because your follow-up questions were relevant. For the most part, a couple of times you jumped into your agenda questions, but for the most part, I thought you were really focused, and I think you had to go to the agenda questions to get somewhere in the journey. But I thought that was really well. I don't think you got into the relevant pain very much, and I don't think that the 5-year horizon made sense given how freaked out Vivian was about the current status. 5 years is a long time if you're not sure about the next 3 months, and so I think you would have connected. You would have created some disrapport probably if she was in that situation. Same with the pre-COVID. I think Sandra mentioned that, same idea. But overall, I thought it was really strong, and I could tell that her response to you was genuine in wanting to connect and open up. So I thought it was well done.
Awesome. And score?
I scored connect, open, and averaged it out to 7.3.
Nice. Okay. For Vlad?
And then Vlad, I love the poise. I thought Sandra's comment about poise was really cool. Unfortunately, poise wasn't one of the criteria we were judging on. I scored less on connecting and really a lot less on open listening. I thought you asked good questions, but then your follow-ups had very little to do with her answers, pretty much right through the whole journey. And part of it was you wanted to get across some of your chops in the situation. And I got why once I understood that your goal was to buy her practice out, but I didn't think it served you, even if this was an actual potential buyer, because I think there would have been more pushback than Vivian was graciously showing had this been someone in that position, especially when she opened up on one of her points of pain and you just skip right past it. I think that was a real missed opportunity to just be really real and connect with her at that level and tell me more about the pain. Even when you asked about the two young lads at 40, good job, Vivian, because that's probably what a 64-year-old would call them, right? I thought it was really cool how she talked about that, and she hadn't even considered it. And then there was an opportunity, I thought, to go a little deeper and talk about what she liked about them, or where she saw the potential or didn't, which could help you with your journey in the later parts. Yeah. And so, and again, same on relevant pain. I don't think you really got into that much. So I scored that low for both you guys on that side. Overall, it averaged out to 6.3 for me on that for Vlad.
Look at Tom going deep and analytical. That's an awesome job of judging, my friend, and all the judges. Thank you. Thank you for your attendance, for your openness. Great. So Vivian, real quick, I want to drop in for a sec because I want to take some of the judges' feedback. And we talk about 4 steps, 10 indispensable elements, 4 energies of integrity-based human influence. So influence is rooted in emotional, energetic transference, whether it's Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey, Bruce Springsteen, Tony Robbins, Bono, whomever. There's a variety of energies, fun, aspirational, goddess, Zeus, right? The 4 energies. So when we're in integrity, it is the variance of our energies and the true presence of a number of indispensable elements in a sequence that leads to our unblinding people. So let's say Vlad, for example, is the greatest guy to give Vivian a fair deal at purchasing her practice. So I want to take a stab at being Vlad for a sec. And Vivian, remember, you're in pain. You want to sell your practice. This is the setup that the scenario that Vlad had set up. So we'll just drop in real quickly. Hey, Vivian, thanks so much for seeing me today.
Oh, hi. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, no, and I know you only have a couple quick minutes and then have to take that call. But quick question. You sound heavy. What's present for you?
My health is declining. My business is declining. I'm about to retire.
Okay, retire. And why? I mean, here are those things. Health declining, I hear the pain, but why would you want to just retire?
I just can't do it anymore. I can't afford any more of all the fires that I have to put out, all the different variations every day. Technology is getting ahead of me. I can't keep up with the business. My employees are not even clued in with what needs to happen, and I just can't manage it all.
Okay. I mean, I am hearing absolute overwhelm, massive pain. And so, can I ask you this? Where, if you could have everything all your way, everything goes the way you dream about. And I know we're in the middle of COVID right now and some craziness, but aspirational, like where does it all go for you? What's the dream forward?
Well, my dream now forward is to sell my company and maybe find a beautiful property in Florida by the water, maybe in Orlando.
Okay. And my heart is heavy for like the pain, and it feels like even that isn't resonating. Can I ask, like, what's present? Like, why is that?
I spent 30 years in my practice. I built it from the ground up. I was very proud of it. And just to see it go is going to be like mourning a loved one.
Yeah. So listen, I'm here to have a conversation with you about buying your practice. I think you know that. What I'm not here to do is to ignore what you're sharing with me. What I'm hearing is that you may want to sell your practice, but maybe you're just incredibly frustrated with where you are. And if you could find a way through, you'd rather keep your practice. Am I hearing that or not? Like, where are you really?
I'm coming into the realization that I do have to sell it.
Okay, awesome. And what do you think what are your biggest concerns in the process of selling your practice?
I'm hoping that I don't have any debt when I come out of it. And I'm hoping that it maintains its integrity as it was built with.
Okay. I am hearing that, well, what do you mean by integrity?
I guess I'm still attached to loving what we do here, and I don't want to give it up, but I just can't do it anymore. So that's all. But I know whomever takes it, I guess I was thinking about the people who I thought maybe would do it, and they can't do it. So it's just, I wish I had somebody that I felt confident would take over the ownership. That's all. Okay. It was a romantic thought.
Yeah. So the romantic thought is you'd like to see your vision for what this could become live through the work of somebody else. Am I hearing you?
Yes.
Okay. So I know you got to take that phone call, but after it, could I share a little bit about myself?
Yes, please.
Okay. Vivian, what's present for you?
Wow. And talk about 5-level listening. That was next level. And I felt that you really cupped my heart in the sadness that I was going through in giving up my company.
Okay. Sandra, any quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was off the charts. I wish I'd really seen that as a scale of, on the 1 to 10 being a 10. It actually brought tears to my eyes to see that caring.
Okay. Now, thank you, Sandra. What people could say, everybody listening, right, is okay, it's like shtick, but indispensable element number 1 of integrity-based human influence is to really love and care for people. And so if Vivian said, hey, you know what? I don't know if I want to sell my practice. Then if we're in integrity, we're not going to try to convince her to sell it. We're going to say, okay, wow, let's talk about that. I don't know, maybe some ideas and thoughts I have, because we're there to serve people to get what they want so we can get what I want. I know, Tom, any quick thoughts? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, that was the real takeaway for me, Sean. I loved it, was the pivot that you made instantly and challenged her on her desire to sell, her claim to sell. And I thought it was extremely high integrity. And, you know, in the role playing, it just got her to understand that you were totally interested in her best interest. Yeah. Because you basically said, well, I don't think you want to sell then. What are you talking about? And you called her on it. And I thought that was really, super high integrity. I echo what Sandra was saying.
So like Oprah says, Krisstina, and everybody, that she held the microphone for 30,000 people because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters to me. Like that's what Oprah said. So level 5 transformational listening, shortened to 5D listening, is about really not just hearing what people are saying and not saying, but why they're even not saying it. And so we're going into the why, the depth of listening. And when people feel that heard, the connection enriches deeply and there's a more authentic sharing. I don't know, Krisstina, how did that feel for you?
Oh, felt amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. So, all right. So we'll ask more of Vikram and Vlad in round 2. But for now, Krisstina, in round 2, what would you like to do? Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay. And now in this roundup, Vlad's going to go first. And what is happening here is Vlad now has, access and pain from Vivian. Vlad is free to do whatever he wants to get to yes. What we're looking for is the authenticity of the yes, however he gets there. Clue, little footnote, hint, his heroic, unique identity into solving for Vivian's expressed pain would be the access point. So Vlad, any questions?
No, pretty clear.
All right, awesome. Vivian, 3 minutes, take us in.
Vivian, hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been a couple of weeks since we spoke, and I wanted to touch base with you. You know, last time you left me with a heavy heart after our conversation. You really were torn between exiting the business or trying to figure out whether to make it work or not. So have you given it any more thought?
That's all I do every day is think about it. So yeah, I think I'm moving in the direction of having to sell it. I just wish the person that bought it would take it with love, and that's all.
Why don't I share the following with you, right? So I've shared with you before that I've been part of Voya as an independent wealth manager for the past 10 plus years. So what you don't know is that over the past 10 years, I actually bought and merged with 9 practices. And I've spent countless months and years reading on what it would be like to help someone like you who's built this legacy, what it's like for you to let go of what you have created, and in knowing that whoever is going to take your place, not replace you because you are irreplaceable, but whoever is going to come into the role that you're playing right now will do a good job with your clients. And does something like this sound like it's striking home with you and potentially with your clients?
Yeah.
So there are 2 companies that we've been utilizing that help us assess the value of businesses, because look, at the end of the day, I believe in compensating handsomely. Those who wrote a book about wealth management that I've studied and that I've built my practice with. And you're one of them. So you're the pioneer in whose footsteps I followed. And I think it's only common courtesy for me to continue that legacy in your name.
I have about another minute to go, but I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Okay.
How did I inspire you?
How do you inspire me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact that you started, you're a woman in the industry that is completely dominated by men. You've lasted and you've been in this for longer than 30 years. You've built a very successful firm from what you shared with me. And at this particular point, being, basically at the tail end of your career and not wanting to continue dealing with its ups and downs, you just want to make sure that someone who comes in will be able to advise your clients as well as you have. Does it sound about like a good answer to the question that you were asking?
Yes.
So I do want to let you know that in wanting to compensate you handsomely, we have structure, and having done this 9 times, we've gone through every ups and downs and how not to do this. And I'll be happy to share some of these ideas with you. Would you be open to that?
Yes.
And I think the next thing would be, well, I know right now we're dealing with COVID, but I feel that why don't we maybe reconnect in another couple of weeks? But in the meantime, I will send you some information just to give you a good start in doing your research and doing your homework about how it's done. How does it sound?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Very good. And so look for my email in the next couple of days. And then I will give you a call in another couple of weeks. Hopefully the COVID will be behind us, or we'll be opening up a little more. And I would love to see you for a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
To see you in person.
Thank you.
Excellent. So Vlad, Krisstina, everyone, when I first began working with jury verdict consultants and seeing from behind a glass window how people perceive things, it was utterly shocking, utterly shocking. So we would prepare in some of these substantial cases an approach to revealing truth that we thought was optimal. And then we would hear these people who did not know we were watching behind 2-way mirrors. And we would hear them start talking about our clients, the presentation, how things were, their trust, their distrust. It was stunning, and it was unblinding. So part of the idea of the real raw role play, which, thank you both, for participating today, is the idea of getting the perception of what others are thinking about our approaches in selling, connecting, getting to yes. Because to me, it's never about, in anything that we do, are we good at it or not, great at it or not? right? It's a question of where are we in the scale of mastery. And if we can make micro distinctions in already our genius and increase and get better, remarkable things happen. I'll share one final detail of what I mean. So I came off a stage at a major personal development event, speaking in front of thousands of people. And I had people saying such beautiful, wonderful, nice things to me, right? And then one person said to me, how do you feel like you did? I said, yeah, I think everything went great. You know, people were happy. He goes, how do you really feel? I said, I know I had a lot more. And he said, why didn't you put it out there? I said, because I didn't think it was my place. And this is like a year ago. And this is after teaching this and doing this forever. And what it made available for me is what is made available through the Real Raw role play, is that there's an inherent dynamic of not only our influence, but our self-mastery, like our feelings of, is it my place? And when and how do we share truth and align people to things? And as a byproduct of that incredible conversation, and that footnote was with a gentleman by the name of Matt Johnston, that resulted in me speaking on those stages 4 more consecutive times. And as we got towards the end, breaking sales records from stage, making incredible things happening, redesigning how the entire approach from stage was done, because I knew I had more, I knew I knew more, and I finally said, you know what, I'm not gonna hide, I'm gonna step into my place. So part of the Real Raw is how do we encourage each other to step into our place, not egotistically, not arrogantly, but so that we can unblind people to what's possible. So I really appreciate, again, Vlad and Krisstina, you being here. So Vlad, any insights from, you know, the experience so far about, you know, anything for you?
This is definitely a needed undertaking, and more so in the environment that we're dealing with. I mean, how many people working remotely? Yeah. So feedback is very much appreciated. And again, you know, Krisstina and I are brand new to this. So in 3 minutes, basically going from this is who everyone is, this is what you're going to do, go. Right? So it does take a moment to navigate through this, right? So like you said, if I've done this for years in front of camera like this with everyone, that'd be one thing. But one of the judges pointed out that I've gone through this 9 times. I bought 9 practices. Yeah. So I know what not to do, and I know what to do. So I think this is a wonderful experience too, and it's very nice to meet you, Sean.
Yeah, no, pleasure to meet you too, Vlad. Excellent work. And yeah, Krisstina, are you ready to roll in round 2?
I am.
All right. So Vivian, take us in.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for sharing last time we talked, and it was just really great to get to know you, know where you are. And I would love to share a little bit about me. Are you good with that?
Yes, please.
Well, so much of what you're saying really resonates. I know exactly where you are, and I know the exact feelings. Just a little bit about my story when it comes to money and financial sovereignty and financial wellness and financial celerity and financial confidence is that I actually started in a trailer home and grew up in a very dysfunctional, alcoholic, abusive family. And so money was something that was very scary and very traumatic. And then I went through a big part of my life just afraid of it, wouldn't talk about it, ignored it. And money caused a lot of problems in my life. And I found myself in this place of being a single mom and broken and confused and scared. And I just realized I was reliving my whole childhood that I worked so hard to get away from. And I finally reached this just existential financial crisis and despair where I finally made this decision that if there's some code to this money thing, I was going to figure it out because I didn't want my kids to suffer and grow up like I grew up, and I was reliving that pattern and creating that for them. And so I just made a decision. And what I learned after studying and working and standing on the shoulder of financial giants, I learned that money is something that can be learned. It's a skill, especially for we as women, to be able to have financial sovereignty and solitude and confidence and awareness, reestablish this relationship and build our power through this financial wholeness that we can create for ourselves. And I learned and applied and did it. And I built my financial empire. I built a net worth for me over $10 million. I lost it. I built it again. And I've learned so many lessons, and my personal ambition is to help other women do what I've done, to be wherever they are, confused, broken, scared, especially in this time now where things are just collapsing, and get to a place where we can take this time of crisis and uncertainty and navigate through it and learn and get our power back.
I have a call that I have to get on in about a minute.
Okay, so what I would love to do is I want you to get to Italy. That Disneyland is absolutely possible in freedom, sovereignty. That's a word I want you to own, and I would like to help you get there. I want you to get out of this pain, this confusion, this overwhelm, and let me help you get to where we can be, that you're going to be back attached to those dreams, back attached to what's possible, back attached to this is just a little bump in the road that we're going to look back on, and you're going to realize that what you are able to do, what you can do, and get to a total place of financial freedom and wellness and wholeness. How does that feel?
That sounds interesting. I don't know how I'm going to do that but
Well, yeah, well, I mean, it's money's a science, money's a code, money's a learned skill.
Whoa.
time's up.
Krisstina. So quick feedback from me on that, Krisstina. Tremendous. I thought, see what the judges think. Your certainty, your choice of language, the vibration of the words like sovereignty, like there was such an eloquence and emotional energetic transference, at least for me. We'll see what the judges thought. I was like, whoa, Krisstina. So it was super tight. You're coming from where you did, you're specifically talking about the net worth that you built up, demonstrating your credibility, really impressive. I mean, a couple of other we could always do micro things, but very impressive. Would you be open to a little bit of feedback on round one?
That's why I'm here, please.
Yeah. So I think on round one, there was a vocal quality sort of absence of variance, certainly not monotone, but there was an absence of variance. So when we're empathetically connecting, it's like, wow, why? A depth of changing the vocal qualities, I think would enrich Vivian's openness as you were discussing, hearing her pain points. And listen, this is brand new, first 3 minutes, right? So, but just in general, that variance in our tonality, as we're hearing people access their pain, is often a super accessible way to create the openings. And so can I ask this question? Does that make sense, Vivian, or no? I mean, Krisstina?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So what have you been, and we're gonna wrap this up in the next about 8 minutes, looking for some great judges' feedback, but we also like to get to know a little bit about you fine folks beyond what we shared so far. What do you do for fun, Krisstina?
Oh, I run, I like to flip houses and remodel, and I love dinner parties that I don't do right now. So Zoom dinner parties, they're not quite the same. I love great food. I love travel. And anyway, that's what I do for fun. And I love work. I love my work. So I love my work and my practice. And that's part of the whole life.
Your passion and mission comes screaming through. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thank you. And Vlad, how about yourself? What do you do for fun, sir?
My fun is my two kids, my 8 and my 6-year-old. They really are my world. I've designed my entire life prior to even having them to be in a position where I can spend my time with them. And among this COVID, I literally get to spend all my time with them. I'm a big hockey fan, big sports fan. And, I being from Europe and being from a family that was decimated during World War II and Holocaust, we are very, very tight-knit family. So we spend as much time together as we can. Obviously, the past 8 weeks have been very challenging. But
listen, truly, thank you for taking time away from them to do this. And hopefully this is the beginning of some great things we could all do together. So thanks, Vlad.
Great. My pleasure.
Yeah. So let's drop in. Sandra, what do you got? So maybe, for the sake of time, if we could try to keep it to maybe 30 seconds of feedback and score each, but certainly can't wait to hear what you have, Sandra.
Okay, Krisstina, thank you so much. That really helped me out a lot in seeing how talking about yourself and that flip, and it's like there's got to be a way through to use your story to serve another person as opposed to like the energy getting turned inwards. Anyway, it was a beautiful story, but it felt like the attention got focused on you rather than how your story serves other women. Anyway, it was beautiful and awesome. Thanks for being here and letting us experience this. And on the actually getting to a point of like what you're going to do with her, it felt more like a 6.
Okay. So can I ask this, Sandra?
Yeah.
If Krisstina had in that story shared her sort of very humble, if not challenged beginnings to get her $10 million plus net worth. And in the midst had shared how a story of a woman that she had helped and coached through that knowledge and wisdom. Would that have enhanced it for you?
Yeah, I don't know that it's actually the words. It felt like it was the energy of everything in the first session was like all about Vivian. And I could just feel the care and the compassion going towards Vivian. And so I don't know if it was a thing as much as it was an energy and an emotion.
And so this is why it's so beautiful to do this. And again, from hundreds and hundreds of rounds of seeing dynamics like this and giving feedback and designing them myself and working through them. By the way, I don't do that business. So that's not like me presenting, oh, I do the business of like, jury verdict consulting, but I've watched those processes and it is remarkable because we see ourselves through our own communication, but how we land on others and the feedback. And it happens for me. I'm talking to several different folks in different spaces about things that are relevant to my business. And some people are like, hey, I love when you do this. Other people are like, I don't like when you do this. And it's the exact same thing from real people of like great wisdom. And so it's really, really interesting. So that was courageous and very open and beautiful feedback, Sandra. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. And how about
thank you. For Vlad, I felt your connection was so much better with Vivian this time. I felt it was like, like there was like you were seeing her and feeling her and even some of the conversation, it just felt better. Where I really felt let down is I felt like you dropped her, like you had this connection and it's like, okay, I'll get back with you in a couple of weeks. I'm like, no, help her now. And that's to the point that I really loved how much connection you have. So it felt jarring that it was going to be so long before you could do something to help her. But so just for the not kind of closing that help for.
Ooh, okay, thank you. How about you, Vikram? What do you got?
Okay, I'm going to go with Vlad first here. And I wrote down, like, you touched her heart. You really spoke to her language about you complimented her on her books and just the whole taking care of her book of business. And I know that for me personally, I want to make sure that my clients get taken care of. So I felt really drawn into that because if I sell something, which I'm thinking about selling a business right now, I'm like, okay, I want the people to take care of my tribe. So kudos to you there. Just like Sandra, my heart sunk when you said I got to wait 3 weeks to get back. I was like, fudge. less letters and more C's and K's. And because she was hot, she was ready. I'm gonna give you an analogy. It's like you take a girl out on a date, and I'm single, so you know where you're going with this. All right, you get the girl. You did everything right. You had the flowers. You cleaned the car. You got your bow tie on. You cleaned the shoes. You're looking sexy. You have a great date, and this is date number 5, and it's ready to seal the deal. And you're like, yeah, let's get coffee tomorrow. And she's like, what? I want coffee now. Like, I want dessert, baby. Like, let's go. And you're like, I'll see you tomorrow. You just
Hey, Vikram, Sandra is looking to do an interview with you very, very soon. At least that's
I'm available.
I've got a man panel coming up.
I love it. I'm available. And so other than right up into that point, you're like a solid 8.5, 9, because I felt really connected to you. I wanted to reach out to you. I'm like, I want to sell you something, like take care of my people. Because you left us cliffhanging, I got to give it down to the 6.5 range. And then for Vivian, for Krisstina, you hit me with so much pain. I haven't been through what you went through, but I could visually see and feel and smell everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I could smell the alcoholic abuse and I was like super connected. You talked about family, and like Sean said, I wrote down custom women and financial sovereignty. I was like, oh my God, I wish I was a woman right now. Teach me like what you have to know. You really shifted the energy from all of Vivian to all of you, which isn't a bad thing. I was really connected. You didn't leave yourself enough time to take it home and close the deal.
Yeah.
And I've been in that situation, and we've all been there. And so when you know you're on a time constraint, really watch the time, because I've lost business, and I'm sure we've all done it. So that's my thing. I'm going to give you a 7 because I really enjoyed the connection.
Yeah.
Thank
Victor,
you.
really, really fun, brother. Thank you. And Tom, how about you? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm working on being a woman right now for this, for sure. But, let's start with Krisstina. Emotional, energetic transference. Sean said that 100% nailed my feeling with your energy of the story. You suffer from the same problem I do. You tell your story way too many words, and in a 3-minute time constraint, that means like a minute. And so, I don't think a 3-minute time constraint is real, but that was the game. And so that, because you missed the one thing you missed that would have been so helpful, your sovereignty word was crazy resonating. I loved it, was bump. You talked about a bump in the road rather than using the pain and frustration she's feeling to listen to you and make a change. And use it to empower her. You were there. Your story set it up beautifully. And I know my perception is that's who you are. And then you could have, instead of a bump, it just like, it should have been empowering. What's going on for her right now should have been empowering for her. So overall, I thought it was great, but I gave it a 6 in the goal of getting her to the finish line. And then on Vlad, I love the confidence of which you got in there. And I loved how you talked about, what was the exact words you used? Compensate you handsomely. But the thing that was missing was she never mentioned that at all in the previous conversation. She said, caring for my people. And your follow-up, I agree, it shouldn't have been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was, but you could have absolutely closed the gap there. So I'm going to send you some information to show you just how well I'm going to take care of your people. And then we'll talk in a couple of weeks. And that would have made me empowered about the time gap. Then it would have been like, wow, you're going to give me a chance to see how you're going to take care of my people. Oh my God. Because the compensate handsomely definitely landed, and the confidence you brought to the table landed. I definitely give you a higher score because you got further along. You got a yes from Vivian to meet. So I'm going to give you an 8 for that.
Nice. Guys, I have to acknowledge all of you. This was truly the most open judging. I think we all have a desire to please, but this is about integrity and openness and growth. And this is like playing on the athletic field or in the music room with the band, and where we're coaching each other up. So that was really authentic and open judging, and setting a new standard on the Real Raw. So thank you, judges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. So real quick run through. Yeah, as we take this home, and thank you all. I know we're a couple minutes over, but Sandra, if somebody said, "Hey, should I be a judge on the Real Raw role play?" What would you say?
Oh, absolutely. Am I on? Am I? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. Absolutely. Be a judge. Be a contestant. Just show up. Doesn't matter what. Be a viewer. I'm really, Sean. I thank you so much. I've tuned into so many of these, and getting an opportunity to be a judge and really up my listening and critical in a good way, thinking skills has been like, okay, from now on, when I watch, I'm going to watch like I was a judge.
Amazing. And I would love to have you back as a participant. And what might be interesting is if you were like participating and like Richard was judging, that's interesting. And I would love to have the relationship diagnosis after that. So Tom, how about yourself? Somebody goes, "Hey, should you be a judge in the Real Raw?" What do you say?
I love it. I had zero knowledge in advance. I had not been to one of these. Thought it was really a neat environment and awesome, warm people. So why wouldn't you? Like, hello.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother. And please enjoy Vancouver. It's been an absolute pleasure. Right?
You bet. And thank Jared for inviting me.
Yeah. Thank you. And Vikram, how about yourself? What say you?
Absolutely not. This was a horrible use.
It's a time.
I've already signed off. And no, this is awesome. I took so many notes, and so many people from the Platt world have shared how much they've learned. Deepak and Bayman and Mona, and just so many people have shared the experience that I love role playing. I think it's one of the best skills that we can work on. And so the opportunity to see it from the person, like you said, how you do it with your jury stuff, 100%, you will learn so much. And now I'm excited to teach my team some of these things.
and love to have you back as a participant. You know what I think too, Vikram, and I'd love your thoughts on this real quick as we take this home. You know, we've been in Platt together for a number of years, right? We're back in 2018, you were Platt, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and we really didn't get to know, I mean, we're in the same circle, same things, but I feel like in this time, just an hour or an hour and 10 minutes, that there's such a depth of like getting to know people in each other, like in a group meaningfully, because this creates such an open vulnerability. So thank you for being here. And I think part of the intention is that we connect and open up, and we're seen by the world for who we are, and we're seen by each other for who we are. So it was a pleasure getting to know you better, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, super fun. I love the fudge and the CKs. Thanks. Yeah. And Vlad, how about yourself? If somebody's like, hey, should I be a participant in the Real Raw? What's your heart say?
Absolutely. Look, I believe that regardless of what you think you know, or you might not know, you need to show up. You're showing up. I'm showing up here on behalf of my family, on behalf of my clients. You know, this is another learning opportunity. You know, this is another arrow in my quiver. Whether I need this, I don't. I believe you need to be there. You need to learn as much as possible. What you've created is a wonderful program. I mean, Jason can't stop talking about it.
No, thank you, sir. And thank you
Absolutely.
for taking time from your beautiful children, and hope to see you soon, since we're 10 minutes apart when this is all.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Krisstina, what say you?
Yes, absolutely. Just to, life is about practice. The only way we can get better is to practice, practice, practice. And so it's just a real honor that y'all took your time and gave me the space to practice. And thank you for the just direct, honest feedback, because I agree it was right on, and it takes a lot of courage just to give direct, honest feedback. And I'm going to take that with me. So thank you very much. And thank you, Sean, for the opportunity, and Vlad, well done.
Yeah. So listen, Krisstina, Vlad, Sandra, Vikram, Tom, Vivian, thank you for your incredible time, for your effort, and on behalf of the entire Unblinded ecosystem, and from my heart, truly, massive gratitude. Have a beautiful day.